Hi, Jess here from nigezza.blogspot.com, and I'm here to show you some simple ways of making cards with not very many resources. So we're going to use the Memories and More card pack. I'm using the Petal Passion one because it's just basically white, black and a little bit of powder pink. And I'm going to show you how to use these to make cards. They are designed for cards and memory keeping. When you get an awful lot of cards in the pack, you get 72, I believe, all together. You get a mixture of these little ones, and these are 3 inches by 4 inches, and then you get the larger ones, which are 6 by 4. Okay, all of the cards are printed on a nice thick cardstock, and they're all double-sided, and you get 2 of each one, so you could use one that way and that side if you want. These ones are designed for memory keeping, for you to sort of write memories down, but there's no reason why you can't cut that out and use that as a sentiment on top of the card, which is what I'm going to show you today. Some of them are just stunning on their own. That's gorgeous. Do a bit of matting. If you have got dies, then you could cut that out with a die with a border to mat it, and that would be lovely. You've got there that you could stick a sentiment in there, or you could find another card that had something pretty on that matted, and then you've got a nice background. So they are designed to do those things, and you've got some lovely sentiments within this set. That lovely border down both sides, stick something in the middle, and you're sorted. We've got the birds there, and we've got that in a big size as well as a little size, and then you've got a lovely sentiment on the back. So you can imagine if you're doing scrapbooking, that's a lovely sort of title on it. This one I love, You're My Sunshine. That is something that I used to sing to my children, so it is something actually that would be appropriate for me to make for one of my kids, and stick a photo on there, and they may remember their mother's awful singing. And then that's a beautiful kind of chalkboard. I've got a chalkboard in my kitchen that one of my son's friends draws pictures on for me, so quite like that. That reminds me of that, as well as these cards and all these little ones that have all got lots of lovely monochrome designs, and some with the odd flash of pink. You've got then these sort of special cards. You've got an acetate overlay there. If I take one of these darker ones, you can see that there. You've got some die cuts here that you can pop out, and you've got a nice frame. There's that dark one again. It'd be better actually if I got some black cardstock. There we go. So you've got a nice frame there that you could use, and also you've got these words. So we've got memories and we've got smile as well. I'm not going to pop them out because it does make it harder to store. And then we've got some stickers, some more words there, lovely, today and hello, some more stickers, and another little overlay there saying together. So you could have 2 people on there, a picture rather, if you were doing it for memory keeping, which would be lovely. Anyway, enough of the waffle. Let's get on and make a card. I just thought showing you would be good. So I'm just using some simple A6 white card blanks, and I've picked out a couple of cards here. That one's got some pink flowers on the back, and this one's got some black and white flowers, and then they have little sayings. So I thought that sticks beautifully on there, and then that can go on there as a nice little sentiment, and so that it doesn't get lost, then you can just mat it in a bit of black. So really, really quick. Take my trimmer. This is, we know, is 3 by 4. So I'm going to go 1/4 inch bigger than that. So I'm going to go 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then that will mat on that, leaving, I did something quite wrong there. Oh, it's 4. This must be slightly less than 4 then. Slightly less than 4. I'll trim it. I'll go down a 1/16. That's better. We've got a nice little mat there. And then now that, oh, I need to stick my paper down one of these days. That will just stick on there, and that will be a lovely card. I'm going to use a bit of fast fuse. No, I'm going to use Tombow, because if you're doing it on the cheap, Tombow is cheaper than fast fuse. And it does give you some wiggle room there. And it's important to have wiggle room when you're doing your layers, I think. You want to make sure you've got an even border. And you could, if you had some dimensionals, pop that up on dimensionals. I'm just keeping it simple. And I'm going to stick that over there like that. Keeping it straight. And then we go. That is a lovely little card. Didn't take much. So we keep that as a basic idea, and I'm going to repeat it with this card here with the little birds. And you can trim it down, and I think in order to marry that, I might step it up a little bit, and I might double mat that. So I've got some powder pink as well. So I might trim this down a tad. So we are just under the 4. So I'm going to take that down to 3 3/4 by taking a smidge off that side, and I'll take same smidge off that side and take it down to 3 1/2, and then I'll take a bit off the top and a bit off the bottom. So I'll go to 2 3/4 on that side, and take that down to 2 1/2 on that side. So we've cut that down so that it is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2, and then I'm going to cut a piece of black. So that's 3 1/2. We're going to go another 1/4, so we're going to go 3 3/4. And then the other way was 2 1/2, so we're going to go to 2 3/4. So that will mat on there with 1/4 inch all the way around. and then I'm going to cut some powder pink in 3x4. I've used this for other things. So it's 6 inches that way. Yeah. So I'll do the 4 like so. And then cut it to 3. I should be able to get a second one out of that. And then that on top of there, like so. To stick that on there like that. So again, I'm going to use my Tombow. There's a nice black colour there. You could have used that side. I just wanted to bring the pink out as it's in the heart on the bird. I wanted to marry that up. So there we go. I love that side as well. We have got 2 of each, so I have got that side that I can use for another card if I wanted to, or use it in my scrapbooking. I actually looked at this set and thought I'm going to make beautiful cards out of it. I do scrapbook, and I probably will use some of them in scrapbooking, but my initial thought on this set was the stunning cards that it would make. And then I'm just going to stick that on there. And you could, one of my thoughts with this was to cut a sentiment from this one. I was thinking of cutting that sentiment and using that on top. So you could stick a sentiment over that if you wanted to. So that's 2 cards, 2 simple cards, done really quickly, and you could use that design to go ahead and make lots out of those little cards. Okay, so now I'm going to do one using the bigger cards. So I'm going to use this card here because I just think that is quite stunning on its own. I have my trimmer marked up for the different layers, so I'm going to cut it down to the second size layer. So I'm going to go halfway on that side because I want it to be fairly even, and then I'm going to, I don't know why I turned that around like that, but hey ho. So that's the width, and then I'm going to cut it this way to the second layer. Smaller layer, forgot. You can keep those offcuts and use those on another card. There'd be no reason why you wouldn't do that. And then we'll take a piece of black, and that's going to be cut at my bigger layer. So this card is just very simply done. Layer that on there, and that on there, to make a really pretty, simple, lovely card. I say that you could use for something else. You could stick it on the front there to give it a little bit of something extra if you wanted to, and you could add a bit of bling if you wanted to sort of make it a little bit more elaborate. Okay, so that is just 3 simple little cards, and there are so many of these cards. I would not like to hazard a guess how many you could make. You could make 30, 40 cards out of a £9 Memories and More pack. Okay, I'll be bringing you back again with some more that I've stepped up and elaborated on. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what you could do if you had a few extra resources. So the seasonal thin-lit dies have this scalloped edge. So I just cut the scalloped edge out, and I'm going to stick that together, and then I just tied a little bow out of our Whisper Right sheer ribbon, and as you can see, that is just a slight step up, something a little bit extra. Now you can go really extra. The thin-lit dies that I didn't bring down with me, that go with the Petal palette, have this leaf die and this sort of trellis, I guess. That's the little sentiment that I cut out before that I've just flagged the ends of, and I've cut using the largest oval stitched oval. I've cut that out. I've cut one out in basic black, and then this is from the card that we chopped up. Didn't matter that it's not the full card because we're going to lay it behind, and you can't really tell. So you can decide how you want it. You can have it that way up, with that like that, and I thought we'd pop that behind, or you can have it the other way around, whichever the fancy takes you, really. It's your card, your bit of creativity, however you want it. So that is just a way of stepping it up a bit and making something a little bit more special if you've got a few other resources. Okay, I'll stick those down and show you how they look when they're done. So there we are, stuck them all down. With this one, I decided that I didn't need the background piece. I thought it made it a little bit too fussy, and I like the way the leaves are sort of cascading. It gives you a sort of an eye of it going diagonally across, which I quite like. And then that one is just simple but not understated. I really like that. Okay, so that's them stepped up, and that's them a little bit plainer. So you see that is really simple cards with not many resources, just that lovely Memories and More pack, and you can make some beautiful cards. Okay, see you again soon. All details will be on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com.